Okay, world, what's going on, man? It's Fry Guy here, man, with a little bit of history, uh, some slight research on slight research. I want to speak on the brother Alexander Dumas. Alexander Dumas. Might not be familiar with the brother, but most definitely probably familiar with his work. Okay? He wrote The Three Musketeers, one of my favorites. All right, let's get into the slight research. Author of The Three Musketeers was a black man by Henry Louis Gates Jr., TheRoot.com, 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro. All right, you may already know the answer, but here's why it matters. Editor's notes. For those who are wondering about the retro title of this Black History series, please take a moment to learn about the historian Joel A. Rogers, author of the 1934 book 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof, to whom these amazing facts are a homage. Amazing Facts About the Negro number 83. Which famous 19th century French author had African ancestry? When I was a teenager falling in love with books, had anyone told me that the three of the most beloved characters in world literature, the Three Musketeers, had sprung from the pen of a black man, I would have said, get out of town. And when I heard the rumors about the author's ancestry in college, I wondered whether it was more legend than fact, akin to the myth that Beethoven was black. It turns out that this happens to be true. Alexander Dumas was both a French man and a black man. And retelling this story reinforces the more important point that imagination should not be shackled by skin color. Okay, look at the brother. Got curly hair, man. Brother was sharp, man. Literary genius. Just like we always are, man. Talented, blessed people, man. Bringing forth God's ability. Excuse me. All right, let's move on. Recall earlier in the series we read about Napoleon's Black Devil. Thomas Alexander, the black man, was born to a French nobleman and a slave who ascended the highest ranks of the French military during that country's revolution, only to end up in an Italian dungeon and a poor man's grave. I mentioned then that General Dumas would have the last laugh, thanks to his son Alexandre Dumas Paris. Paris meaning father, or like senior in English, distinguishing him from the junior or the son. Okay. The son will become one of the most influential writers in history. Dumas' most popular works, The Count of Monte Cristo and The Three Musketeers, have engrossed readers and actors for years, yet many literary historians simply chose to erase his racial origins, leaving most readers until recently to assume the default that the author of those works had to be white in order to write so vividly about white people. I don't think he was talking about white people. Even though his race was anything but a secret during his own lifetime. In fact, when I mentioned Dumas and Russian writer Alexander Pushkin in the introductory lecture to a course I teach at Harvard University with Lawrence Bobo, our students appeared shocked to learn that both had black ancestry. Early years, Alexandre Dumas Paris Sr. was born in Villers-Cotterets, France, on July 24, 1802, to parents Thomas Alexandre Dumas and Marie-Louise Loubaret, who was one quarter black, as Richard Stowe author of the 1976 biography Alexander Dumas Sr., recounts. Dumas' godfather was supposed to have been Napoleon Bonaparte, but as Dumas told it, the arrangement was dropped after his father and the future French emperor became enemies. General Dumas died in 1806, yet through his absence, he loomed even larger in his son's mind. I adored my father. Dumas is quoted as saying in Tom Rice's 2012 book, The Black Count, Glory, Revolution, Betrayal, and the Real Count of Monte Cristo. Perhaps at so early of an age, the feeling which today I call love was only a naive astonishment at the Herculean stature and that gigantic strength I seen him display on so many occasions. Perhaps it was nothing more than a childish pride and admiration. But in spite of all that, even today, the memory of my father in every detail of his body, in every feature of his face, and is as present to me as if I had lost him yesterday. The general's death hurt in other ways, for despite his high military rank, his pension was withheld. Dumas, growing up in poverty, also was convinced that the vengeful Napoleon had blocked his admission to any military school or civilian college, according to Reese. The beginning of a literary career. The brother was sharp, man, and it had to be something between Napoleon and his father for him to do what he did. Dumas's mother, a widow and single parent, exercised little authority over her son, rearing him with abundant affection, but almost in spite of herself, letting him do whatever he wished. Stowe's right. So that Dumas at 17 or 18 was as learned in the ways of the woods as he was in school, as he was little school. The seeds of Dumas' literary ambitions were planted around age 16 when he met Adolf de Levine, and the teenage son of a Swedish nobleman, on vacation in villas, Coutures. Dumas, whose resume at that point was still thin as a notary apprentice, was captivated by de Levine's tale of Parisian life. Okay. Alexander Dumas, man, the brother, and his father, that bloodline, man, they were notable in France. Like they most definitely had rank, had status. For his father, for the junior to his godfather was gonna be Napoleon himself. You know, the great general to a black child. So that definitely says something about who he was. There are actually 3 men named Alexander Dumas. Thomas Alexander, 1762 to 1806, was a general in the French army during the Revolution. He was from Saint Domingue, now Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, had a black enslaved mother and a white nobleman father. Okay. Hey, man. Alexander Dumas definitely was writing about black people, man, and the black Musketeers. Yeah. Who were the black Musketeers? Yet outside of France, few people are aware that all 4 are based on historical figures. Black men. All right, man, I'm going to end this, man, for slight research, man. Until next time. Peace.